All right, so a little bit ago, wrapped up watching two of the televised available games before people find ways to get the games online and there's no more gatekeeping because I can't find the Clemson spring game practice anywhere. But the Notre Dame one was available, Georgia Tech, Ohio State, Oklahoma one was behind a SEC paywall, so they're gatekeeping that one for a little bit. But here's my reaction on Ohio State and how today's spring game went. I do want to follow along with how some of these spring games go. The setup was pretty kind of the newer norm, newer traditional of not like, hey, let's split the roster down the middle 50-50. It was offense versus defense, first strings versus first strings, and second strings versus second strings. Keenholz, dude got benched after the first series. So the first team offense went out there. It was a quick 3-and-out. Second team got out there with Sayin. They went on a drive, scored a touchdown. The running back Donaldson had a touchdown. Smith played for a little bit, but then he sat. Same with Downs. I didn't see Carnell Tate too much after the first quarter. So I think the projected starters played like the first quarter, and then it was seconds and thirds from there on out. And like the way that I wrote it out, as we get into like the second quarter, third quarter, like I couldn't tell which was first teams, which was second team. So I just put, okay, this is St. Clair's drive. This is Sayin's drive. This is Keenholz's drive. I think some of the players that stood out was Julian Sayin. I also think that tight end Max Clair stood out. Max Clair is a transfer from Purdue. He left the 1-11 Purdue Boilermakers to come to the Shoe, which I definitely think that with the name alone, playing for Ohio State definitely improved his draft stock from going, I don't know, undrafted to probably the 6th round if he catches like one touchdown, just because of the name Ohio State alone. Who else had a pretty big game? Out of all the quarterbacks, I think St. Clair was a little flustered there at the beginning too, because he did throw an interception to Delane. There were a couple interceptions in this game. I think Thurman had a big game. I think number 5 Graham had a big game. Bo Jackson had a touchdown. Not the Bo Jackson, but a Bo Jackson. Number 25. I think he's a freshman too. Phillip Bell had a touchdown there at the very end. Field goal unit was good. Some of the drives did stall out in the red zone. I think right now an overreaction would be that Julian Sayin is the starter going forward. But I think the quarterback competition is definitely a lot more decided than Notre Dame's spring game. Just what I saw with who they were thrown to, I mean, yeah, it makes a difference when your first string tight end and Jeremiah Smith are sitting. Like, yeah, that's going to make a big difference because we saw how impactful Smith was for the Buckeyes last season. Who looked a little bit more relaxed out there was Julian Sayin. And that's why I would say right now, if I were to say, okay, who's going to start and play in week 1's matchup against Texas, I'd say Sayin's going to be the starter. But I think both quarterbacks are going to have a go at it. And the reason why I say that is because with Texas and how that game's going to roll out, like, yeah, I think both quarterbacks will probably have a short leash where if Texas is up 17-0 at halftime, whoever was the starting quarterback benched. And then the other guy will have a go at it. Do I think St. Clair could make a push to be that solid third string where maybe he's even getting reps in the Texas game? Probably not. Oh, it's in the Shoe. Well, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know what this, okay, okay, so it's going to be in the Shoe. Here's what this game kind of has a feeling of. This kind of feels like back in 2017 when they had the series home and home with Oklahoma. It was game 2, I think, because I think they had an opener against someone else, but it was Ohio State and Oklahoma. Baker Mayfield came into town. We remember, the flag plant and all that. But I think this game is definitely a welcome to college football moment for not only Julian Sayin and Keenholz, but also Arch Manning. And we're going to see, I think, and it's a huge overreaction too, we're going to see how much of a dog Manning is when his first collegiate starting game. He did have, he did start against UL Monroe last year and he played a couple games last year when Quinn Ewers got injured. If he's ready to go with his first opening, starting game in the season is in the shoe like that, you can't ask for a better start, especially against the defending champs. And I know they're missing a lot of pieces that left for the draft. Both teams are.